because we kind of forget. If we've been doing this for a while, we forget, okay, there's other people that need really the basics, okay? But this is the basics that get you somewhere. You know, like you can start playing songs like Georgia on My Mind and different things like that. You make F major 7, and then you go from a F major 7 to an E minor 7 flat 5 to an A 7 flat 9 to D minor 7 and so forth and like that. Okay, but you don't know those. You don't know why they're called that. You have no idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start with C, and we're going to try to unlock this in its very elementary form. Here we go. I hope you can see this. Okay. Now, I'm going to I think I can go ahead and put the C over here. Okay. Now, it starts with C major 7, and that has a triad. Trouble there. So what we want to do, and we want to get out of that mindset also, we want to be able to play in every key, and the goal, of course, would eventually to be able to play fluently in every key, and that is some goals. And most pianists have a favorite key of C, D, E, not so much, even guitar players, which I am one. Okay? We don't, that's got 4 sharps in it. It's kind of messy. And so F is one of our favorite keys because it's really nice to deal with. It only has 1 note to play around with as you're doing the same thing. Sorry, let me do it again. F, G minor, A minor, we're going to be doing this later, B flat, C, and I'm just doing the triads, not working the 3 notes, not putting the 7ths on there. F, G minor, A minor, B flat, C. Now you're on the 6th, and that's a D minor. And this right here is a diminished, E diminished, and an F. Okay? So let's see here. Oh yeah. So as you're playing in other keys, then it gets really messy. Okay. So F is a very favorite key and they all have a different flavor to them. F is one of my favorite ones to play blues in. Now I'm in D blues on a B flat, which is a 4 chord, and so they each have a different flavor. Okay, and then G flat, not hardly. And then all it is we're walking this part up here. This is a we're playing blues, and when you play blues, you normally think of I'm playing the dominant chord. So dominant, we'll get in that later, but I'll just show you. We're going from an F major 7. We drop that pinky down, and you got that F7. That's always a whole tone down from the root. And then you've got this kind of chord. Okay? And but what about here? This is not so natural. This is a G flat 7. Same thing. Listen, it's the same sound. You know, they're all the same sound, but they're off by a half tone. Okay? Now, G is one that we play in all the time. Okay, that's just doing a little boogie on that. Just give it. And then go back to where we're first talking about. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then we take and add another one on there. So I actually have a C chord, a D minor, an E minor, not a E minor 7. This is all just triads. Simple chords, 1, 3, 5. C, and then this right here is a B diminished, and back up to C. So you see that some keys are not that fun by the time you have to play around with them and do the diminish and the minor 7 flat 5s and all those kind of things. But we're going to get into that. But this is going to be, so if you're playing an F, that's a favorite chord for pianists. G's favorite chord, really works out nice. And then A, not so much, and that's a great guitar chord. Okay, easy to play in when you practice it for a while. Okay, and then this next one is out because we kind of forget. If we've been doing this for a while, we forget. Okay, there's other people that need really the basics. Okay, but this is the basics that get you somewhere. You know, like you can start playing songs like Georgia on My Mind and different things like that. You make F major 7, and then you go from a F major 7 to an E minor 7 flat 5 to an A7 flat 9 to D minor 7 and so forth and like that. Okay, but you don't know those. You don't know why they're called that. You have no idea. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to start with C, and we're going to try to unlock this in its very elementary form. Here we go. I hope you can see this. Okay. Now, I'm going to I think I can go ahead and put the C over here. Okay. Now, it starts as C major 7, and that has a triad. Okay. Now, so this naturally comes about in this chord and in this key, excuse me, and C is what we're dealing with first, and then we're going to go into some other ones that are very popular. A flat, but we will not cover that today. We'll maybe get into F. But essentially, what you're doing is you're walking up as you go, and you have to take in consideration that you're in another key, and that key has certain flats and sharps, and you have to pay attention to that. Okay, here we go. Here we go. C major 7 has a C, E, G, B in it, and that's a 1, 3, 5. Major 7. That is the 7. Okay? That's called the leading tone, by the way, too. Now, then you go to a D minor 7, and I'm going to show you as we go why it's called a D minor 7. Okay? Here is locked finger technique. These are called arpeggios, or broken chords. And it repeats ad infinitum both ways. Okay? So now, we did C major 7. Now we're going to D minor 7. And these are the basics, and I don't think people like to do these, but these are what makes you a better pianist, period. And you want to play in all keys, because it's really important to play in all keys. And the reason why to play fluently in more than one key is because what happens is, especially in jazz, you move fluently between one key to another. You're in a G flat 7, G minor 7 flat 5, whatever. It just goes on endlessly. So you have to really get a feel for it, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to C major 7 first. Now we're going to D minor 7, and I'll explain why that's a D minor 7, okay? It has a D. Here's the D chord itself. Here's what's called a D7, okay? That's what they call a dominant chord. We're not going to get into what a dominant is right here. We're going to stay focused on this. So you take a dominant D7, which would be these notes. See here, I do this, and normally you would go up like this, but I'm explaining why. Okay, we took a dominant D7, and then we flatted there, and that becomes a D minor 7. Okay, there's a lot of other ways to do that, but I just shortcut it by doing this chord. It's a D7, okay? And so this is a D minor 7. And so now the next one is E minor 7. So you got a C major 7, and a minor and a minor. And then you go to a major 7. It's called a major 7 because it has that leading tone in it. Okay? It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's a natural occurring note in the scale of F. You're changing the key every time you go up. In a way, you're working out a C, but you have to rename the chord. Okay? Okay? So F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F. And And anytime you truly do it right, you need to go up, and the scale, the major scale, in order to always be correct. I've never found it to fail yet, but it gives you the answer: C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7. So you have, what you have is, you'll have a root and 2 minors, and then you have the major 7, which is your 4 chord. Okay, it's not this sound here. This is a dominant. It's really in your face. This is a nice sounding. Okay, and then you go to a G7. Now this is the one that's kind of in your face. Yeah, that's the one that the boogies. And I just did G, a bunch of G. I did G7, and then I went to a C7, and then later on I went to a D7. So those are really bluesy sounding things. Now, if I have a F major 7, it's like this. It's nice, pretty. Georgia, Georgia. Okay, so we'll get there. Okay, so F major 7 is a very pretty chord. Okay, and it comes out of the C scale. Now, and then you go to this is the G7, also comes out of the C scale, and all the notes, believe it or not, from G to G played in this right here. Amazingly, that's called a mixolydian. Okay, but not important right now. Okay, now we go to this next one. It's called an A minor 7. So you actually have 3 minors in this. You have, remember we went from a C major 7, and then we went to a D minor 7. So there's your first one, and then your E minor 7. You'll have one more, and that's on the 6. Okay, so you have this. Okay, and it's really good for your hands to reach out like this. Okay, and most people can do this. Sometimes you have to cheat a little bit, or maybe use a different finger. But anyways, and then go up to 6. So you've got 3 naturally occurring minors in the diatonic sevenths of the scale of C. So C major 7, D minor 7, E minor 7, that's your major and 2 minors. Then you go to a major 7, which is your 4 chord, a G7, which is your dominant 5, okay, your A minor, which is your 6, and that's a minor, 2s, 3s, and 6s, and that's usually when you see jazz, you'll see a little, it's in Roman numerals, and you'll see a little 2 I's. Now that's a minor, okay, as opposed to a bigger, like it would say 2, and it would be the Roman numeral 2, but not the little I, okay? Okay, not the little I. And then this next one here is, we need to really look at this one. This one's a B minor 7 flat 5, okay? Now we will get to other ones, other parts, okay? And I know you can't see this, but it's B, D, F, A. Basically, you lock your fingers. Sounds pretty.